Okay, so we made it. That's the cemetery that we're going to. I just parked the car across the street. I was thinking about going, like, parking it down there near it, but nah. So cars parked across the street. We're going across the street. Okay, let me rephrase it. Cars parked where we're at. We're going across the street to the cemetery, and I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I never done it before. Oh, there goes a police car. Okay. It's gonna be fun. It's totally gonna be fun. Ooh, it's cold. It's cold outside. But we're gonna have fun. Ooh, it's cold. So cold. Honey biscuits. I always love their honey biscuits at churches. Was that or Popeyes? Because I never had churches or Popeyes. Oh, looks like they're leaving. Bye. But I never had churches or Popeyes. Well, okay, I shouldn't say never. I mean, I used to a long time ago, and then I stopped going. So, oh look, it's a pavement thing. Okay, I see what they're doing. They're going to paint somewhere on the street, somewhere. Oh look, a light out. How sad. Cemetery, here we come. So cold. Oh yeah. And one last step. We're in the cemetery, and it's dark and scary, which is fine. I mean, it's part of Halloween, right? So, happy Halloween, everybody. Okay. So we made it to the cemetery. We're officially across the street now. We got some flags. This is called the People's Cemetery. It's a historical sisterary. It's a historical cemetery. Which also has a historical marker. I don't think anybody owns this cemetery. I know sometimes city officials, or not city officials, but sometimes I think it's like Haltom City or Fort Worth. Sometimes they'll have volunteers that will clean up some stuff in the cemetery. It's so spooky out there. Anyway, but it is a historical cemetery. I think one of my co-workers was telling me a little bit about it, of who used to be buried here, and because it's a way back in the day type cemetery. So here's its historical marker. Here's that. Well, okay, on Google's map it says it's a people cemetery, but this one says it's called the New Trinity Cemetery. So people cemetery, New Trinity, I don't really care, however you want to call it. But you can pause the movie, or not the movie, but pause the video if you want to read about this cemetery. Let's see. Basically, there was a reverend who was a former slave, and he died in 1886. But saying that there was no, I guess this part of Tarrant County, there was no what they're calling a black cemetery. So there wasn't really any black cemeteries around here where all the African Americans can basically bury their dead. So they created, they collected donations, or his widow collected donations from like the church and stuff that they went to, or that he was reverend. And let's see, for a church, the trustees of Trinity Chapel Methodist Church bought 2 acres in 1889 for a church and burial ground. By the 1920s, burials began in adjacent land known as New Trinity Cemetery. Interesting. Today, the 3 sites are commonly called New Trinity. So there's 3 sites. That's why. So the reason why Google called it People's Cemetery, because it used to be called People's burial site. Oh no, burial park. I don't know why it's a park. I mean, it doesn't even look like a park with tombstones. But then again, watching some Ghost Adventures and some other ones like that, let's see. You got people buried from 1894 to 1951 right there. Yeah, it's creepy going in here. You know, I wanted to explore the cemetery, but it's kind of creepy at the same time. So here's one. Let's see. 1877, it looks like, from 1922, with a weird looking tree. And there's another burial site right there. If you guys are wondering where I'm at, I'm basically in between the cemetery in between the cemetery property. I'm like on the outskirts of the cemetery property. I'm still in the cemetery, but not fully in it because it looks so creepy. Oh, look, see, car's all the way down there. Car's right there. But yeah, it looks so creepy. I don't know, when I go to creepy places like this, it kind of makes me wonder, or like want to sing like that woods song. If you go out in the woods today, what you're going to see. Yeah, so creepy. And my hands are getting frozen, so I forgot to wear gloves. Whoops. So, from reading the historical marker about this cemetery, so if they bought 2 acres, because it looks like this is like 2 acres. But then again, I'm not really good of like measurement of distance and stuff, so if they bought 2 acres, 1 acre was probably the cemetery, and then the other part was the church, which was just how they described it was. Let's see. Horace Bolden. But anyway, how they were saying, I keep on hearing creepy noises. So creepy. So I'm thinking, so 1 acre was the church and the other one was the cemetery, and then it is so creepy walking around. But I'm okay. Oh, look, an airplane. I don't even know how far this place goes, like how back it goes. It covers a nice stretch. Oh, look, an airplane turning. Nice. But yeah, it goes from here all the way down, I think, the next street. But see, I wonder the history of the cemetery, because so if it used to be a cemetery that slaves used to be buried back in the day, then what part or what year they decided to have everybody else get buried here, you know? Oh, look, a big one is patch of nothing. Then all this, I'm guessing that's where the church was. That makes it even creepier. I'm sorry, it really does. But I'm thinking about heading back now. The next cemetery that we're going to go to is Birdsville Cemetery. Monroe Mayfield. He was a U.S. Navy. Or he was in the U.S. Navy. But I think that's where the church was. That's so creepy. So yeah, I'm going to head back now. We're going to go to the Birdsville Cemetery, which should be fun also. So scary. See you in the next cemetery.